Welcome back. Welcome back. I said it first.
To Hintzes in the house. We are the Hintzes.
Hintzes in the house podcast.
I veto that theme song.
Hintzes in the house podcast.
It's arguably worse. Today we are talking about collectibles.
Collections. We are the collector.
I don't like that phrase. Okay, so...
You know the guy from Marvel?
Yeah, I know.
He collected people and stuff, you know?
Exactly. That's terrible.
Yeah, like, totally terrible.
You sound really convinced. Okay, so we're talking about collections and collectibles, and we're like going to just cover the whole spectrum of things that like our parents collected, things that we collected, things that generally people collect, the whole nine. What do you collect?
Like rabbit's feet.
That is an option. So what did...
I don't do it.
What did your parents... Let's start with parents. What did your parents collect when you were growing up? Or what do they currently collect?
Well, my mom collected every single piece of creative thing that any of us kids ever did and had to keep it forever.
Uh-huh.
There's probably about 1,000 drawings I did of Africa, or not Africa, of Australia when I was like a wee baby. And I was like, oh, I'm going to draw a tree. And I really like this Australian mountain, you know, like the famous Australian mountain, whatever it is, the dingo.
Great. The one that ate your baby.
You know, there's an Australian mountain.
I'm really sorry to everyone in Australia that I don't know what you're talking about.
I think so anyways. And I would draw like a kangaroo. I don't know why I was so obsessed with this Australian scene as a child, but I drew about 1,000 of the same picture.
I feel like this is like a Criminal Minds episode, you know? They like take the child and they're like, what do these drawings mean? Like that's a little sketch.
That's not, I mean, I don't think my parents really like collected anything, you know? Like specifically collected stuff.
I can tell you a couple of things your parents specifically collected.
Well, they have a ton, like my mom has a ton of like National Geographic's magazines.
Okay.
I don't know when they stopped getting those, but
sure,
they had a big collection of those. Anything classic car related, my dad collected. So whether it be classic cars themselves,
the actual car,
or classic car parts,
or classic car models,
or classic car magazines,
all the classic car things, really.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think my parents really. I can't think of any. There was nothing like specifically collectible that my parents collected that I can think of.
Tikis?
Sort of.
That's
maybe.
The kind of like collectible thing I'm thinking of. That's where my brain is.
Well, later in life, they went to Hawaii a couple of times and got really into the Hawaiian culture and the false gods of Hawaii. My parents got really into those, I guess.
That's not how that works. Nope, I don't. That's not true. No, tikis. Your parents, like, your whole house is, like, tiki themed-ish.
I would not say it's the whole house is tiki themed.
There are a lot of tikis around.
Yeah, sure. There are a lot of tikis around. Who doesn't love a good tiki, though? They're like, oh.
Like father, like son, truly. I'm going to tell you this. Our house is not filled with tikis.
Yet.
Oh, Lord have mercy. And I would say, like, your mom collects, like, cat things. Like... little cat plaques or cat phrasing things or like magnets. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, yeah, magnets. Your mom collects magnets. That's for sure.
I guess so. But again, those don't like stick out. Like baseball cards stick out to me as like collectible things, you know?
Well, yeah, that's the
like,
average person's collectible. But like your unique parents' collectible is going to be different.
Well, that to me is more so just like something that you like. That would be like we collect dark wooded furniture. It's like we don't
know.
Like,
at this point we collect board games.
But, okay,
gotta catch them all.
What about your mom? Did she collect anything?
Oh yeah, my mom collects dachshunds. She still does.
Okay, that's a little different.
Not like actual dogs, sorry. I mean like dachshund paraphernalia and figurines.
Oh, okay.
Not actual dogs.
Okay. I was like, because they die. And then she's not like stuffing them and keeping them.
No,
like,
no. I'm talking about like,
at least I
like
don't think
her house, like whatever theme it is, there's always like little dachshund you know, things. There's the kitchen towel that has a dachshund on it and says a witty dachshund phrase, and all of those dog related dachshund things. That was her primary. I do remember she collected plants ish adjacent, like, you know, like actual plants. When I was growing up, she was the green thumb, and so there were plants all over the place.
I don't know if I would consider that collecting.
I would say like houseplants. Absolutely. Collecting is acquiring a bunch of the same thing.
Right, but it's not like you're building a collection.
At this point, for dachshunds, she is. For dachshund figurines and stuff.
Again, it's to me, it's different. It's not the same as, like I said, like collecting like baseball cards, because there is a set I'm getting.
Oh no, it's just an infinite amount.
Right, exactly. Like, you can collect stuff, but it's not like a.
That's what I'm saying.
It's not like you're working towards this goal of like, I need this.
It's an indefinite collection.
This series or this set of blank, and then I have complete this set. Like, that to me is more so like.
No, I've always looked at collections and collectibles as like an indefinite amount of acquiring things. So for my mom, it was dachshunds and dachshund figurines, primarily dachshund figurines and paraphernalia. And Ethan is singing Mario.
I still got it in my head.
See, Mario paraphernalia. That could be something that someone collects, not us, but
Isn't
someone.
That what the cops take away from you when you're
Mario.
Do you have any paraphernalia in the car? Just my Mario figurines, officer.
Oh, Lord have mercy.
When he back up, he's got Mario paraphernalia.
So was there anything was there anything that you collected growing up, or that your siblings collected, or like, you know, and again, think of this as an indefinite acquiring of a certain thing.
I guess for us boys, Legos would have been like the thing that we collected growing up, if you will. I will say, McDonald's and Burger King, when we were kids, like, they would run like toy sets.
Yep.
And so a lot of the times we would try and like collect all, especially like if they did like Star Wars or like SpongeBob toys, they did that every now and again. And we would try and like collect all of the sets of whatever toy. I don't think we ever completed a set. But, you know, like, that was a thing that we tried to do for sure. They also did like a Lord of the Rings one time, and that was dope. I mean, I didn't know what Lord of the Rings was at the time, so I was like, what is this?
Probably find that on eBay.
Satan stuff.
Still true.
But now I'm like, oh, Lord of the Rings, I should have collected those things.
Did your parents collect anything for you, or like for you kids? You know what I'm saying? Like, they were like, I'm gonna start collecting.
I think they did for Gus and Savannah with some things, like some like dolls or something like that. But I don't think specifically anything for me. I would have assumed that I would have received said collections at this point.
Right.
Had they existed, but since I have not received said
it's all
collections.
Your Australian artwork. Just putting it into a book for you. My mom collected angels for me. Like, when I was growing up, I would say probably until the age I was like 5, maybe a little bit longer. Angels were the thing. Like, angel figurines was my collection. And it wasn't like I wasn't seeking them out. I wasn't going to collect them. I wasn't asking for them for birthdays or Christmas or anything like that. It literally was just somehow like that became a thing, and people would give my mom angels for me. Anytime anyone saw an angel of any kind, it was bought for me. I had that collection at some point. She passed it off to me. I have no idea where it is. Right. I don't think we currently have it. I don't know what happened to it. It got lost in translation somewhere along the way. But there were a lot of them, and it was like, for what? Like, because it wasn't something that I was interested in, like, it wasn't like I like this and I'm going to collect them kind of thing.
I will say, I did, as a kid, I liked the idea of like collecting baseball or football cards or like Pokemon cards or that kind of stuff. But by the time I got some Pokemon cards, I think it was a family friend, I think it was Allison, gave me her Pokemon cards. And I kept them for like a year or two, but then by that point I was like, well, I'm kind of like over Pokemon. Right. So then I gave them to like my cousin, who's like a couple years younger than me.
Pokemon cards, but I was never like actively collecting them. I just kind of had some.
Yeah. Like I said, by the time I had them, it was like, oh, these are cool. And then it was like, I never played the game. I never traded them with anyone. Like, I just had them. I was like, I don't need these, so I gave them away.
Sure.
And I have like one very small stack of like baseball cards that I have from a long time ago. I don't know. I don't think I have any like cool baseball cards. I think they're just rando people.
I feel like at some point too, I was like in a amassing books state where I could say like I had a book collection. But it was like books I liked or books that were popular or but like it wasn't anything like first edition or signed copies or old edition. Like it wasn't anything like that. It was just a general, I was obsessed with reading. And so I was just like amassing books. And then you move a couple times and you get rid of a lot of books along the way.
As far as like stuff now, like you would mention board games. Again, I don't know if I would classify that as like a current, like I wouldn't classify that as a collection. We are collecting board games, but not in like we're trying to collect these board games.
No, it's an indefinite amassing of things.
Right, we have them and we are technically collecting them, but it's not, I wouldn't classify it as like my like I would maybe say here's my collection of board games, but I wouldn't mean it as like
you're done.
This is my collection that I'm like
I guess maybe
like we just purged a bunch. Like we purged like 10, like 12 board games last week.
Implies like a completed thing. Like a collection of something implies that it's done. Whereas if you are collecting, it's like the continuation of something.
Right.
But yeah, board games is what I would say is yours right now.
Sure. Star Wars cards.
Oh, Lord have mercy. Oh, he's getting up. He's getting up. He's getting up to find his Star Wars cards. And he's coming back.
This is my prized possession of Star Wars. My collection of Star Wars cards.
Fun fact.
My prized possession. That's why I keep them down here in the basement and never look at them or see them.
Fun fact. I contributed to this.
Yeah. See, these are the ones. So Topps redid their Star Wars cards. And so that's what these are, where I got them all myself.
For those of you not watching on the YouTubes, Ethan is flipping through
I think these are all fully done. I want to say. I think this is my like fully completed. Yeah. Look, I got these silver guys. Look at all of these guys. These are so dope. Yeah. They didn't have these. Look at these, the foil ones. Dude, these ones are dope, except it's the new characters, which kind of suck.
Are these stickers? One of the
No, there are stickers around here somewhere. See, I didn't get all these because there's 8, and I only have 6.
It's tragic.
Dun 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 dun. Look, more silver ones.
There's 9 of these, and I only have 5.
And then, I don't know, they were like weird ones. So these are the ones that I got myself.
Yeah, that is a binder full of pocket protector Star Wars cards.
Lock that back in the vault so no one can get that bad boy.
The vault that we don't have.
These are the original Star Wars cards.
You're welcome.
That you had received from a guy that worked with your dad.
No.
No?
My mom, when my dad died...
Oh, it was a guy that worked with your mom.
Yeah, when my dad died, my mom's boss gave her these Star Wars cards as insurance for me.
Right.
These will appropriate in value, take them for your kid situation. And so these have been...
Put that rubber band on these guys. They're all bent up in the middle now.
Bent up.
I know, bent up. No. Star Wars.
So these have been around since the 90s, earlier than the 90s, but they were given to me in the late 90s, to my mom, to me. And so these are the OG.
I haven't even looked to see if they're all here.
And these are like, and I have no idea. I thought that each was a completed set. So that's orange that Ethan is holding. There's a green, and other than those ones that were banded, everything else is in a private box. And so there's the blue, yellow, and green sets. Yeah. And whatever that one is.
Oh, I have a card box. I can put these in later.
You should put them in a card box later. That rubber band is going to snap.
I just don't want to keep them getting bent up anymore.
So... yeah, I wonder if you can like steam cards.
I would cardboard.
Well,
it's a steaming paper. Usually, paper and water don't mix very well. But this is not something that I actively collect currently. Like
no, right? I would say this is
set
a
from the '90s is obviously
collection.
done. This other set I bought all of the cards. I wasn't able to get the full set.
He bought the packs individually, like trying to collect them, and then
I got pretty close.
A lot of duplicates, and then he was like, "This is stupid. I'm gonna just buy the completed set."
So I found a completed set on Amazon, and I just bought that, and it was like, okay, They also like stopped making them for a while. I don't think they make those cards anymore.
No, I don't think so either.
So they stopped making them.
You did spend a lot of money trying to get them, so it was like...
I mean, it wasn't like outrageous amounts of money, but yeah, I mean, I had to buy quite a few packs of cards.
Yeah.
I also...
Oh boy. He's getting up again.
That's my other. These are...
The duplicates?
Yeah, these are
Oh,
Star
Lord.
Wars lunch boxes. For all of you audio listeners, this is just fascinating content.
I'm sure.
This is other cards, like...
Duplicates?
Right, well, and like some of them are like... Here's the thing. There were like a ton of sets. Like here's like a green random set of like a Star Wars card collection. And I just was like, there's no way I have the time or money to get all of the sets of everything. So I got like the blue set and like some of the silver, like the special sets that were like only like 8 cards. And then all these other like, here's the blue set and then there's a red and like I ain't got the time or money and they don't even make these anymore. So there's quite a few cards in there. Same with these. Yeah, these are just like
Ridiculous.
the same. These are just the same thing where it's like a lot of the repeats of like, you know, the cards that I already had that I would get multiples of the same one. Oh, here's my baseball cards. This is my one little pack of baseball cards.
Tragic.
I have Ricky Henderson. Is he any good? Is he
I
worth $1
have
million?
no idea.
Good old Ricky Henderson.
All right, well, I'm glad that you've discussed your...
The only other thing I ever kind of collected also was those little Minecraft thingies. Remember that?
Oh, yeah.
Me, you and Scotty, we would go to Target and we would like
Peek in the
we'd like
boxes.
feel them. We'd be like, this is the one, or we'd like move around. There were like little holes, and you could like kind of see the colors. And we were like, this is one we don't have because it's like those things were also kind of expensive. And I'm not just gonna buy.
They were like Minecraft
1,000 creepers.
minifigure kind of things.
Yeah.
And you could buy, but they were in like mystery packaging.
Right.
So like in the box, they were in a black bag and you couldn't see them. So you would like take one out, you'd like open the box, take it out and like feel it with your hands to try and make sure that you weren't getting one that you already had. Cause they were like, I mean, $5 a piece or something like that. So you didn't want to buy one that you already had. And maybe they were returnable, maybe not. I don't remember. I would assume that you could just return them, but we never did that. We just...
Oh, these are Topps cards too.
Yeah, Topps is a card brand.
I know. I just didn't realize these were also
Baseball
Topps.
is like the OG for Topps. Okay, well, on to things that I collected. If you're done.
Yeah, I'm just
Reminiscing about baseball.
Ricky Henderson.
So once I was able to start collecting things for myself, I started with rocks. We have a rock on the table. It's a crystal. I think it was when I was 5. My mom's dad, gave me, I don't know if it was this crystal or a different one, gave me a crystal and was like, here, kid. And I thought it was the coolest flipping thing. And so, which is so funny because like my mom will tell you that when I was like a toddler, I would fill my pockets with the pebbles of the asphalt on the playground and like bring it home and
Look
be
at
like,
all these cool rocks.
exactly. I'd be like, look at these rocks. And she'd be like, those are what? Trash. And she would find them in the washing machine. Like just terrible, terrible things. So, no, I upgraded to actual shiny rocks, if you will. And I love them from this is a pretty part of nature perspective.
From a geological standpoint.
Yeah. There was one point where I asked you, I think, when we were early dating, I was like, what if I was a gemologist? And you were like, you don't need another useless degree. So I didn't do that.
The statement still stands.
But I've always been like, I used to watch, not used to watch. I watched 1 or 2 episodes of those like mining shows where people are mining for gems. And I'm like fascinated, but they spend like days at a mine site to maybe get like the teeniest little bit of something.
Right.
I do much better at the amusement park / like carnival like mining things where you have dirt that already has the gems in it. Mm-hmm. And you go sift those. That's like one of my favorite activities.
Yeah.
Anytime I'd go to amusement parks, they have the pre-tumbled rocks in a bin. And that was always my souvenir, which was again, so stupid. I remember doing that at like Legoland. It was like, yeah. I'm at Legoland, right. And I still want rocks.
These rocks. from this little rock station that is at every single amusement park ever.
And every souvenir shop and everything, yeah. I got a rock tumbler for Christmas one year for myself that took forever. They gave you the raw rocks. You put them in the tumbler with, like, the sediment and whatever else. And it literally took... I mean, I'm sure it took, like, 3 days of continual tumbling, something like that, in the garage. But at the time, I was very small. And I was like, this is never going to end. Like, this is forever.
3 days.
I never did those grow your own crystal kits. I never did those.
Savannah and Gus had those, but I don't know if they ever did them. But I always wanted to do it.
Yeah,
I just
saw one at Barnes & Noble the other day, and I was like, wow, I was obsessed with that once upon a time.
Yeah.
We should ask Silas how those things work. He would know. He got to chem brain.
Or maybe you know. Comment below if you know.
That's true.
Give us your dissertation in the comments.
Crystals from these are pretty part of nature perspective, not these have healing power, blah, blah, blah. That's been not a recent thing. I think it's been popular recently.
Right. I think that people thinking rocks have magic powers dates back to probably when people were dumb and thought rocks had magic powers.
They throw the runes up and they're like, the runes tell me what to do. So no, I do not believe in any of that mumbo jumbo. I just like pretty rocks.
That hippity hoppity.
And then at some point in high school, I started collecting decorative pencils.
Oh, freak. I forgot about this stupid collection of nonsense.
Wow.
Here's the thing.
So mad.
Mom also tried to like collect pencils for us. And I'm not about that life.
Here's why. Because at one point in my life, I saw this picture on Pinterest. I wish we could be like, pa, and like put it up for you. So sorry. Don't have those powers.
Maybe I will. Pa. And if it's not there, then pa. Gotcha.
But it was this colored pencil display. And it was like literally all of these colored pencils in rainbow order lined up in like plexiglass against the wall.
Colored pencils way different than
it was, but in my brain I was like, if I can get decorative pencils from different places that I visited or other people have visited and then put them in color order on the wall, like that's how that's how this thing started. That's what I wanted to do. I still want to do it. I don't have any place for it at all in my life, but I have so many of these and importantly decorative, non-sharpened, that kind of thing. And it was too this thing where
which that for me, I'm like, a pencil is literally meant to be sharpened and used. A pencil is a nice thing. True. That you collect it and you use it, and then it gradually gets smaller and disappears over its lifetime.
Except for
it doesn't just collect dust.
Except for they do. I will say too, it was a very easy thing for any of my friends going out of town. Like, oh hey, pick this up for me. Like grab me a 99-cent pencil, please. Exactly, and they almost always would because it was like
a 99-cent pencil.
It also just like, memorabilia of places I've been and that kind of thing. Again, cheap, easy souvenir to pick up. But, and I will say, I should have prefaced this at the beginning, please do not buy us any of these things. We don't want them.
If you want to give me Star Wars cards, I will always accept Star Wars cards.
I will accept pretty rocks because they're expensive, but I don't need any more pencils because I'm not doing that display anytime soon.
But not none of your mumbo jumbo spirit rocks. Keep those to yourself,
If you put any kind of like blessing on them, I rebuke that. I don't want it in my house. Thank you very much.
Enjoy your demons.
I rebuke your blessing. Thank you. So those are my two things: is pretty rocks and decorative pencils, unsharpened.
Yeah.
We collectively collect nothing. I don't think there's anything that we collectively collect
except my Pokemon. I gotta catch them all.
Oh Lord, it's the backwards hat for me.
Yeah.
Oh, there was something. Oh, I was going to say souvenir kind of collectible things that other people might collect that we don't, but I have heard of.
Mm-hmm.
I had a friend that collected those little spoons. They have you know what I'm talking about?
Like the little teaspoons? I
guess they're like kind of teaspoons that you can buy them. They're a souvenir thing that you can buy when you go places. And they've got like the place and it's like a little spoon.
Where else would you buy a souvenir when you don't go a place?
Exactly. I just mean there might be one that's like Route 66 and it has like a little Route 66 like picture.
I know what you're saying.
You know what I'm talking about? So I had a friend that used to collect those. I feel like shot glasses are a collectible thing. We don't do that because we don't do shots.
I actually was collecting shot glasses for a while when I was like in elementary school. Which was odd, but I just thought they were cool. Like they're just little glasses and like you said, like they have like like either
places.
like I had a couple from like Pirates of the Caribbean or like
Right.
Disney or like the Great Smoky Mountains or like that kind of stuff.
People can collect, that reminds me, people can collect like cards, like decks of cards from different places.
Oh yeah.
That's a collectible item. Steins. You were trying to get into Steins for a little bit because
I
your
would
dad
still collect Steins.
does Steins.
If any of my family is listening, dibs on all of Dad's Steins. Dibs them.
Great. Put it in the will. Just put it right now.
Right, exactly.
Oh, Lord. Yeah, I can't think of any other, I will say, like, llamas are my favorite animal. Do I collect them?
What am I saying? I don't have to dibs it. It's my birthright. Everything is mine, guys.
Birthright.
It's my birthright, and you can have what I don't want.
Okay.
Hello, anyone read their Bible ever?
Okay.
It's a birthright. The eldest son inherits everything.
Just yeeting my brain out of this conversation. Yeah, I think I'm looking at these Funko Pops. I'm sure people collect those.
Yeah, that's so stupid.
I agree, but
we've already talked about this. I only have the Funko Pops because other people gave them to me. I would never.
But I'm sure that,
buy them for myself.
if there's the set of blank Funko Pops, people would probably collect that whole set.
Yeah,
You
I
know?
would assume. Yeah.
That kind of thing. So it is interesting to note that, what we collect, you could collect anything that you are amassing continually.
Right.
Decorative pencils is probably not one high on most people's lists. Pretty rocks, probably.
I'm sure. And I'm going back. I'm sure that people like board game collections are a thing. I'm sure.
Sure.
But I feel like those people would be very specific in like what board games they were collecting,
Right.
and it would. For them, it would be like about collecting the board game, not the quality of the game. Because
Sure.
like I said, we're getting rid of like 10, 12 board games that we don't play and don't find enjoyable anymore at this point. So it's like, if I were a collector though, I probably would be like, oh, we can't get rid of photosynthesis
Right.
because it's such a pretty game and this and that.
Right.
But it's like, we don't play it, so just get rid of it.
Sure.
Make room for new stuff, you know?
It's true. I'm sure there are people
Also,
too that
I
like.
went into my smoker voice.
Yeah,
there.
what is that about?
I'm
sure there are people too that like
years.
collect antique items from different categories, baseball hats, probably.
Sure. Yeah.
Those kinds of random. So,
Right.
yeah, honestly, you can collect anything. Anything that you like, you can collect it.
Yeah.
With enough money and time.
Toes, shrunken heads.
Okay. What?
Ripley did it. Believe it or not, he did it.
Okay, Ripley is. Listen, we don't talk about that man. He's a nasty little pasty.
Emphasis on the rip.
Yeah, what the heck? Disgusting. So yeah, I don't know. Let us know what you collect, if anything. And if you don't collect anything, you should start. It's a fun thing. It's all gonna burn. But keep it anyway, for right now.
It's all gonna burn.
I just mean, like, just in the grand scheme, it's not really worth it.
When the sun goes supernova, it's all gonna burn, so who cares? Life is meaningless.
Well, I mean, you said it.
What? Okay.
Listen, this is money right now, but money burns too, so whatever.
Gold don't burn. Collect some gold and silver. I shaved, by the way, everybody. Hello. It's still me. In case you were wondering.
At the end of the episode, who else would it be?
I collected my beard hairs, though. I have them in a big bowl upstairs.
That's disgusting. Can refute. Did not happen.
I collected them in the bowl, in the trash bowl.
In the trash bowl.
Exactly. They'll be in the trash can.
So yeah, find something to collect. That's what I have to say. Thank you
Or
very much.
no, it's a waste of time.
Right.
And money most of the time.
Mm-hmm. Unless other people collect it for you, and then it's like free trash.
Right. And then it's just going to be something that sits in your basement and you never talk about, never want. But then when it comes time to get rid of it, you're like, but I love it.
Can't confirm. The amount of times we've tried to purge things that we're like, I love it. And then you just leave it out of sight,
It's
out
like,
of mind forever.
I love this. I'm going to use it every day from now on because I remembered it. And a week later, it's like,
I have
crap?
what? What is that? I've never seen that before in my life.
And it's like, okay, can we get rid of it? No, I love it.
The cycle repeats until you die. Oh, man.
And you get to the point where you stop owning stuff and your stuff owns you.
Thank you for that cynical note to
Just call me
go out
Guru
on.
Ethan.
Guru Ethan. Okay. We'll not be doing that, though. Thank you very much.
Okay. Goodbye.
Well, that's that. Bye.
From me and my hairless face to yours.
We don't know if their faces are hairless.
Comment below. Is your hair Is your face hairless?
Bye.